Hello everyone and welcome back to another video hosted by yours truly. And what you might notice is that I am a little bit sick. And what you also might have noticed is that I got a new microphone, so you can hear that sickness in the crispest audio possible. You are so welcome. I know I sound beautiful. Anyway, this is not what this video is about. Today we are doing another collab video, and I think this is the biggest collab video I have ever done, so I'm really excited. This collab is hosted by Honeyland Horizons, and this is a collab for Disability Pride Month. Honeyland Horizons, also known as April, also made this cute Pride Disability shirt and flag, and I will leave the creator code in the description so you can download it and wear it if you want. But let's go over to Happy Home Paradise and start with the build, and I will explain a little bit what the collab is about. So here we are, and we are going to redecorate Vesta's house, or that's what I think she's called. And I chose this house for a reason, and that is because there are no stairs outside, and that makes it a lot easier for people who are traveling with wheelchairs and stuff to get there. So the challenge of this collab is to make a fun themed area kinda, and then make it accessible for disabled people. And that's why I decided to make a mall, which I don't know, might be a weird thing to do, but I think it's fun to go to the mall. And I also have a disabled aunt that's in a wheelchair, and I notice a lot of things that are difficult to do when you're traveling to a mall, so that's why I kind of want to try to fix that. We try, because Animal Crossing is very limited in that way. Firstly, when I was trying to pick out which house, I was actually looking for something that didn't have this little staircase, but unfortunately everyone does, so I couldn't really work around that. But that's what I have noticed a lot when I am going with my aunt to places, is that even if there's a tiny edge or tiny stairs you have to get over, it can be really difficult if you are alone, and it's also really annoying for her. So yeah, if I could have chosen, I would have a house without a stairs. That would be ideal. And I tried to make the house look the most mall-like from the outside, but it didn't really work, so just pretend it looks like a mall, please. Then I started to work on the parking lot, which was a situation. I have not played that much with Happy Home Paradise, as you can see, so I keep pressing the wrong buttons every time, and I keep exiting when I'm not supposed to, and it's annoying. But eventually we got there. But what I wanted to do was that I wanted to make a parking lot, and I wanted to make a special parking lot for people with disabilities, so it's going to be a little bit bigger, and it's also marked with this disability sign, so it's reserved for people who need it. I also tried to not make the build too cluttered, which was a challenge for me because I love clutter, but it can be really hard to move around when things are cluttered if you are in a wheelchair and such, so I contained myself, and I think it turned out okay after a lot of struggle. Yeah, anyway. And another thing that's very important with parking lots that are marked for disabled people is that it is close to the entrance to wherever place you're going, so you don't have to go that far, makes sense. So I did that here as well. Then I just added some pathing around the asphalt and some bricks and stuff, and I decided I wanted to have this built in autumn because that's what my tiles fit the best. So this whole build is very similar to my whole island theme, which I like, so I hope you do too. I also had a little conflict with myself trying to decide what time of day I wanted this build to be, but I ended up having it in the evening because the light is really cool, and I normally have the 5-6 a.m. green light going on, but it was kind of weird if we're going to the mall that early. The mall is not even open. No, it's not a good vibe. Then I just decorated a bit, and again I tried to not keep it too cluttered, and I think it turned out okay. It still looked a bit abandoned, I tried to not put too many cracks in the asphalt so it wouldn't be that difficult to get there, but yeah, it has the dystopian touch over the whole thing. I just couldn't help myself, it had to be done. And I will also leave the little wheelchair symbol I found that I used in a sign here in the descriptions if you want to use it as well. I think it was really cute. I just found it in the custom design portal when you search for a word. That update is a blessing, honestly, but I think it was a really nice touch and I like the little heart there. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for the outside, so let's start decorating inside, shall we? First, we gotta remove this beautiful, beautiful cottage I had made her a while ago. This is actually one of the few houses I've decorated, so it's a bit sad to delete it, but it has to be done. I also added a second floor, so we're gonna have a two-story mall, whatever it's called. And I'm also making the room a lot bigger so we can fit some different sections. I struggled a lot to figure out what kind of wallpaper and flooring I wanted because I don't know, malls are pretty basic, but also I didn't find anything that was basic enough. So after a lot of thinking, I ended up going with this white tiles and then this pastel green wooden wall. I forgot what it was called. And overall this whole build is gonna have a bit of a antique vibe. I don't know why it ended up like that, but it did, so we're just gonna go with it. It kind of matches the outside because that is also broken and torn down, so it makes sense that it's a bit all inside as well. Yeah. In the right corner here, I'm gonna make a little clothing store and I'm gonna make sure that there is a lot of space to walk around in and that most of the things aren't too far up because it can be quite far to reach something if you're sitting in a wheelchair. And in the other corner, I'm making a changing room, and I know that Animal Crossing has this one tile changing rooms situation, or maybe it's a shower, I don't really remember, but anyways, I think they are quite small if you want to be inclusive to people with disabilities, so I used these curtains here to make a bigger changing room in the corner, and I think that looked pretty cute. As you probably already can tell, I'm not the best at interior designing. I usually rely all of my build on terraforming and waterscaping to make it look good, or trees for that matter. But this was really a challenge, but I think it turned out okay. So if you see me skip a lot, that's just because it was just boring to watch me pick up stuff and removing it again. Then in the left corner, I'm going to make an elevator, and I know it looked kind of strange. I also found this design in the design portal with just searching for elevator. So it's a bit old-fashioned. It doesn't look like the normal elevators I've seen recently. I've only seen this kind of elevators in the movies, but I think it looked cool, so we are going with it. And in the last section of this flooring, we are making a little cashier paying area. I don't really know what it's called, but I chose to use a short table because, again, I'm gonna talk about my aunt a lot because that's the thing I can relate to, and that's the person I have heard what kind of issues she struggles with and what she wants to change, so that's why I'm speaking from her experience. But a lot of the times when you're going to pay and you sit in a wheelchair, you are of course sitting further down than when you are standing, and sometimes you can't reach up to the paying thing. What is it called, where you like pay with your card, you know? But sometimes you just can't reach it when you're in a wheelchair, so that's why I used a small table. And I also used, again, April's design here for the magazines. So my idea is that the people who are coming here can read about the different disabilities, and I wanted to try to include it in the build somehow. I think it's a bit sad I can't wear the t-shirt when I'm decorating, or at least I don't think I can. So I want to use this video to talk a little bit about what Disability Pride Month is. As I've said, April made this collab and she is disabled, and she also made a really sweet message explaining why we need Pride disability, so I want to say some of the things she told me, and that is that this month is used to celebrate the acceptance of disabled people into the mainstream communities and celebrate how their body functions currently without the idea of trying to fixing them. And it's very important to have allies, just like with pride, normal pride, that are able-bodied and can fight to get the things they need, because when you are disabled you already have a lot of things to struggle with on your daily basis, and it's important to have other people that also can support you and understand why they need to have this fight to get the things they need. And the Disability Pride flag also has a lot of meaning, and I want to explain what it is because I thought it was really nice. It's almost like this rainbow flag with sharp edges. It's created by acnh. I hope I said that right. And the colors have different meanings. So blue is for mental illness, yellow is for cognitive and intellectual disabilities, white is for invisible or undiagnosed disabilities, green is for sensory and perception disabilities, and red is for physical disabilities. And the zigzag pattern represents how disabled people move around the different barriers in creative ways. And I think that's so cool, and I really like the meaning behind this flag. And I know for a fact that I have learned something new. I didn't know about that this flag even existed, so I'm very happy that I get the opportunity to educate myself and hopefully you guys as well. So now we know a little bit more about what Pride Disability Month is. So let's continue with the build. Upstairs, I of course had to continue making the elevator because the elevator has to end up somewhere. It doesn't make sense to just have it in one story. So up here I'm going to make a bookstore, just because that's what I felt like. I had a lot of items that could be used to make a store. It wasn't actually that easy to make a store as I thought it would be, because I don't know, there's not that many items that give off the right store vibe, unless you're making a yard sale or something, or just random stuff. But if we're gonna make a mall with different sections, there weren't that many things to pick from, but that might just be me that's being uncreative, I don't know. But this floor is basically just a lot of bookshelves, a lot of the magazine displays, and then I also use this small wooden stuff, I don't know what they're called, but I used it here in the middle as a display table, so it's easy to see things here and grab them and look at them if you want to buy stuff. So yeah, that's what the thought was behind here. It's not too complicated, any of this build, but I do hope I got the point across that it's important to have enough space to walk around in the mall. You need an elevator to get upstairs. If not, it can be very difficult for some people. And of course, don't have stairs outside of the building as well if there's not another option to move there. That's also stupid. I just couldn't fix it, so I'm very sorry about that. As I've already said, I'm not the best at interior designing, so that's why I desperately just slap thing on the wall, hoping that will make it all look better, even though I know it might was a little bit much. I really like plants, so I just add plants to my builds and hope that makes it better. I'm not really sure if it did, but at least we have a lot of plants here, so that's something. But the build is almost coming to an end, and I do hope you liked it, even though it's a bit different from what I usually do when I do speed builds. And if there is something you think I should have included to make it more accessible for disabled people, let me know, because I would love to know what you guys think and make sure that I could improve this somehow. It would be nice. So yeah, let's just take a look at the build and see how things turn out. Thank you so much for watching, and happy Disability Pride Month. I want to thank you for staying until the end of the video, and I want to thank everyone who is a part of this collab. We are almost 30 people who are getting together to do something for this event, so please go check them out if you're interested. I'm very excited to see what they have done, and I'm very happy to be able to be a part of this. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and join this little family we have going on here. And I will continue to make awesome content for you guys because I think this is so fun. Well, that's what I have to say. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!